Okay, everyone, sorry for the slight delay as I was getting Facebook Live up. Yesterday, yet another one of our fantastic IAPC&M CPD building masterclasses. My name is Julie Kennedy, and I'm your host from the cold and grey and slushy Netherlands. Today, we welcome business coach and guru Michael Charest. I didn't even check with you. I hope I'm not scorching your name, Michael Charest.
Not bad. Charest.
Good. Charest.
Guru,
okay.
Guru was probably more offensive than getting my name wrong.
Oh, really? Really? Okay, so not a guru,
not
but
offensive.
A
I'm
coach.
joking.
No, okay. You can tell us all about
guru,
yourself in a
thank
minute.
you.
But what I did understand is that you are passionate about helping coaches so that they in turn can serve their clients and make the impact for which they are destined. And you have helped a huge amount of people. I saw 500 private and 2,000 group clients grow their businesses and so much more. So I'm very lucky and grateful to be able to soak up your expertise today, and not once, but twice. I will get to that in a minute. But before we get into the core of the matter today, some housekeeping. Our call today will be a maximum of 1 hour, including 15 hours QA. The session is recorded, so please mute yourself, but keep your video on, as Michael was saying, because it's so much nicer to not have the feeling he's talking to himself. And you can use the chat box for questions and suggestions, but Michael encourages you to actually ask your questions as we go along. Right now, today we have part one of a double masterclass on sales and marketing under the idea of keeping it simple. I like the title for today. It's Marketing is Not a Dirty Word, which is something that I certainly need to come to terms with. So grab your CPD pads and your pen, and over to you, Michael.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Julie. I really appreciate it. For those of you that didn't hear me, to the extent you want to come on camera and interact, I would love it. Even if you can't come on camera, feel free to come on mute and ask questions as we go and or share. If you prefer to go in the chat, that's fine. Whatever is easiest for you, but I'd love this to be interactive. We're going to cover four main things today. Number one, we're going to get clear on what marketing is. As Julie mentioned, this is one of two masterclasses. The next one is on sales. So today we're going to talk about what is marketing and what it's not. We're going to talk about a marketing system, why it's important, and actually help you create yours. Within that, we're going to talk about what we call the marketing train, which is mapping out your active, passive, keep in touch, and follow-up marketing strategies. And then lastly, we're going to do a cool little visualization. We'll make sure we finish within the hour. So let's just go ahead and dive in. Who wants to just share, what do you think marketing is? And how does it make you feel? Like, what comes to mind with regard to marketing and your emotions about your coaching business? And as mentioned, feel free. Oh, somebody already wrote. Thank you very much. Social media. I'm hearing that a lot. And by the way, I've probably spoken 150 times to different coaching chapters around the world, mostly the ICF, but I've met thousands of coaches, and I am hearing lately a lot that marketing is social media. Let's see, we have telling people about my service. Okay, that can be marketing. We're going to talk about a little bit of a definition in a little bit. Marketing is digital promotions. Okay, so we've got social media, digital promotions, telling people about what you do. I don't feel confident because there is a lot of people who are really loud. That is not me. Yes. Have you noticed that the loudest people, and tell me if you disagree, it may be different in the UK, but the loudest people seem to be the marketers that want to tell you how to do marketing. Coaches aren't the quote loudest people, when you think about it. Because I have clients outside of this, we're helping our clients. We're doing marketing to our target market, not marketing to coaches, like so many people are doing that. And they're typically pretty loud, quote unquote, and you don't have to be. So we're going to cover that. Flyers and physical print, excellent. Talkers, but not walkers. Oh yeah, you got to walk your talk for sure. A lot of empty promises out there, a lot of shouting from the rooftops. I tend to think some of these marketers, some of them frankly lie, most of them exaggerate, and the third category is they spin. So they're not really lying or exaggerating, they're telling kind of their best story. Like somebody might say, Within 6 months of starting my coaching business, I had a full practice with 40 individual clients. What they don't tell you is maybe they had 40 individual therapy clients before, or network marketing clients that they're just converted over and now calling them coaching clients, right? So they're not exactly fibbing, but they're putting a spin on it. So we just want to be careful of that. And I feel marketing should be ethical and dignified and more low key and simple. And that's what we're going to get into today. I feel uncomfortable marketing on social media. Good. You don't have to market on social media. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to start getting into a little bit of marketing. From the beginning, slideshow, boom. Marketing is not a dirty word, as we said here. Okay, so if you look up marketing in the dictionary, marketing refers to the activities a company undertakes to promote buying or selling a product or services. So generally speaking, marketing isn't a specific activity. Social media is not well, it can be marketing, but it's social media. Marketing encompasses all of the activities. I spent some quality time working on what I think is a good definition for us as solopreneurs. And it's a little long, but I'm going to break it down for you in a minute because I think it's effective. And by the way, you're going to get these slides. So if you want to take notes, that's awesome. And you'll get these slides. But I tend to think, or I wrote out, that marketing is the act of systematically procuring prospective clients, continually serving them, and periodically inviting them to a complimentary consultation. Okay, so let's just break that down for a little bit. The act of, so act requires action. I just love that. Does anybody want to guess how many hours a week on average, if you're a coach who owns your own business, how many hours per week? I don't know if any of you saw my talk last year to you all, but I did a talk on time management for coaches. How many hours a week, quote, should you be dedicating to marketing? Anybody want to guess? At least 8. Okay. Now, when I ask the question, I won't do it now, but sometimes I do a poll. How many people are spending at least 8 hours marketing? Most people say, no, I'm not. So one of the things you can do, it looks like, Tina, you are, or did you have a question?
No, I am.
Oh, good for you, Tina. Good for you. Thank you for raising your hand. I would bet, generally speaking, that those like Tina who are spending 8 hours a week marketing generally have a more, quote, successful business than those that aren't. If you're doing more, likely it'll lead to more results. Then if you can learn to just fine tune and do it better and better, that's when things start to grow. But first, you've got to take action. Number 2, systematically. So the act of systematically is a set of steps that work together in a special way, a specific way, okay? So today we're going to talk about a system. The third part is procuring, and I was using the word procuring, and I looked it up. I'm like, I got to make sure this is the right word, and I thought, wow, this is awesome. It's a way of obtaining something with care and effort. So far, to market our coaching business, we're taking action. We're doing it in a systematic versus haphazard way, and we're procuring clients with care and effort. And actually, I just said the word clients. We're procuring prospects or prospective clients, I think is actually better to say, and we're serving them. Okay, so one of the keys to marketing, you're going to hear me mention in a little bit, marketing is serving. Okay, so most of the great marketing strategies are done for free, and you funnel people to a complimentary consultation, and then maybe they go on your e-zine, which we're going to hear a little bit more about in a minute, and you continue to serve them whether they're paying you or not. And so some people will step up and want more from you and end up being a client, but you're continuing to serve even those that aren't paying you. So It's just a wonderful, ethical, dignified way of being of service, and not this sleazy, negative, salesy, manipulative that we sometimes think of. So we're systematically taking action to procure prospective clients, continually serving them, and periodically inviting them to a complimentary consultation. Okay, and the complimentary consultation is, quote, the sales process, which we're going to be talking about in our next masterclass. So I'm going to go off screen share here. Anything come to mind, or is this helpful in any way? Anybody think, wow, I kind of dig that. Maybe it takes the stigma away a little bit about how we view marketing, and hopefully you'll be more dedicated to spending more time doing it. Thoughts, comments on that? This is the interactive part, by the way.
I'm going to say thanks, Michael. I particularly like the idea that you're continuously serving. So you're always adding value, and that takes away the kind of like sometimes like seediness of marketing. It's like you are adding value to people, and fundamentally, I think most coaches, that's what we're here to do, add value and help them. So if we're doing that on a daily basis, it's a day well spent.
That is awesome. Could you just say your name out loud to make sure I get it right, the pronunciation?
Helen Gray, Helen.
Oh, Helen, forgive me. I have the sun in my eyes a little bit, and I was thinking you were somebody else whose name was harder to pronounce. So listen to what Hannah said. That's a day well spent. She likes the fact that we're continuing to serve, or continually serving. And she said, as coaches, we're that way. One of the things you'll hear me share in the next session on sales is I really think, literally, get this, you guys, coaches make the best, or can make the best salespeople in the world. Because when we talk about sales is a complimentary consultation. Right. And I'm going to share with you next time. I didn't expect to be preluding to the next time, but marketing and sales go together. You're doing that complimentary. You're giving people value in the consultation. They're going to get value whether they hire you or not. So even that process is serving, and it's essentially a coaching session. And that's what we do. We're not stockbrokers. We're not sales. We're not real estate people. We're not doctors. We're not lawyers. We're serving people to help them reach their goals. And marketing and sales is that. Okay. It's just some people will pay you for more, and some people will be happy with you serving them on a little smaller basis for free. So thank you very much, Helen. Any other comments or questions? Yes, thank you. Paula.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. It's really good. I thought it was really interesting the way you broke it down, because I realised that I'm already doing that, because I have a Facebook group where I do live just meditations and just talk about different issues, and then people kind of get on the train a little bit and start to move along, and then they might join like a group that, a masterclass that's like £11.11, and then they move on to one-to-one coaching.
Very good, Paula. So something you said kind of jarred me to say, because you're serving people through a Facebook group, Facebook Lives, maybe doing free trainings, helping people at networking events, doing talks, people understand, appreciate, and don't mind you making offers to them in an ethical and dignified way. They want you to, or I shouldn't say they want you to, they expect it. And the ones that end up hiring you are very happy you did. And so one of the things you need to be sure when you're serving people for free is you're not too bashful about, and you're being bold and making positive offers for those people who want it. Okay. And you don't want to shy away from that, because then you're just doing everything for free. And there's nothing wrong with this being a business and making money from it. I want to be very clear about that. We own coaching businesses, or we want to. And the more money you make, the better life you live, the more you can be of service, the more you can travel and help other people and or give your money away, be of service, and spend some of it on nice things for yourself. You deserve it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Cool. Any other questions or comments? Welcome, Michael. Yes. Who's this now? Tina, thank you.
Actually, I do all that, and it's with pleasure that I serve others. But I thought I was doing something wrong, as I spend many hours a week marketing, creating content, and I thought I should be coaching more. But now I realize that what I've been doing was not wrong, and I am glad. I think I will keep doing it.
And so share, Tina, what were you, if I understood you correctly, you're realizing you were doing some things, quote, maybe incorrectly. What is it? I think I'm guessing, but go ahead and share that.
I spent hours creating content on social media. I spend hours on Canva creating all the graphics. I find quotes, I find researches, I podcast, and it takes up so much of my time. And I realize it is actually, I coach less and I do all that more.
Yeah, so fun. So thank you, Tina. You just summarized what most coaches think is marketing. So I don't know, were any of you on my time management talk last year? What I'll do is I'll go ahead and as a bonus, I'll send you a presentation on time management too, where I helped you map out how you should spend your time as a coach. But creating, writing, I don't know if you used another word, Tina, creating content. These things aren't marketing, they're creating. And we identify remember Stephen Covey with big rocks. So I took his time management principle, and one of the big rocks for a coach is creating, but that's not marketing, that's creating. Marketing is taking action, reaching out and proactive action, inviting people to a complimentary consultation. And so some of it is more active, some of it is more passive, and we'll get into that with the train. So thank you, Tina, for pointing that out for yourself, because I'm quite sure it'll help other people. Okay, so marketing is not selling, okay? Marketing is the sales. Well, I'm going to get to sales in a minute on that third point. So marketing is not selling. It's a different action. Marketing is serving. Marketing is your resume. Okay. What the heck does that mean? Marketing is your resume. So get this. What is the purpose of a resume? Or you might call it, do you call it a, help me in the UK?
CV.
A what?
CV. Curriculum vitae.
CV, thank you. Curriculum vitae. Yeah. What is the purpose of that?
To sell ourselves?
To sell yourselves. Okay, great. I'm gonna challenge you. I'm looking for a very specific answer. If you guess it wrong, you're not wrong. You just didn't get the answer right. But what is the purpose of a CV?
To say
Let
everything you've
people
done.
know what you can do. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead,
So
Paula.
who
Okay,
we are.
I'm hearing a few people at once. Paula, you go first.
Let people know what you're capable of and what you can do.
Perfect. Let people know what you're capable of and what you can do. Excellent and incorrect. Tina.
The same, actually. Let people know who you are, what you have done, and what you are capable of doing in the future.
Excellent.
And what you
Excellent
like
answer.
doing.
Excellent answer and incorrect. Tina, do you want to go again? I'm sorry, Julie.
No, that I was sort of saying what we have done, as in it's a list of the studies we've done and the previous functions we've held.
Awesome.
But
No,
wrong.
it's not that. The purpose of a resume is to get an interview. That's it. Okay, I didn't ask you what a resume was or how to write one or what it says. I said, what's the purpose of a resume? It's to get an interview. That's it. Have you ever hired anybody or been hired by sending in your resume? You get a phone call and it's, hi, may I speak with Helen? Hi, Helen, my name's Joe. I've received your resume. I love it. We want to hire you. And we're offering 150,000 pounds for the position. We'd like you to start Monday. Could you do that? No, never going to happen. Your goal is to say, Helen, we got your resume. We loved it. We'd like you to come in, or we'd like you to do a Zoom interview, right? So marketing is not, you see, kind of, I'm playing around with words here. Just like a resume is to get an interview, marketing is to get a complimentary consultation. So I think when you do marketing with the goal of procuring complimentary consultations, so you can go to that next phase of the sales opportunity, it takes some pressure off. You're not trying to get clients. You're not trying to explain who you are. You're not trying to talk about your past, et cetera, et cetera. You may be in your marketing, but the goal is to get complimentary consultations. And that is frankly an easier goal than thinking about trying to get clients. Let me ask you, let's just say for every 10 consultations you do, think of you personally. In your last consultations where you met with somebody, they said, hey, I might be interested in hiring you as my coach. Would anybody like to declare what is their average, quote, conversion rate? So out of 10, how many people end up becoming clients? Anybody want to share?
1 or 2.
Helen, say again.
1 or 2.
1 or 2. Okay. So you might have a 10% conversion rate. You might have a 20% conversion rate. Okay. My conversion rate is about 40%. We find that about the average in the industry. This is not scientific, but just having talked to hundreds of people, some people go, oh, my conversion rate is almost 100%. We find that's about 33%. And what we're talking about is your mid to higher ticket items. Like if you're doing a complimentary consultation to sell a $49 a month service, I would want your conversion rate to be higher. But let's say you're charging, $5,000, $10,000 or pounds for a coaching contract, euros, then naturally your conversion rate will be lower, just bigger decision to make. Okay. So the purpose of marketing is to secure complimentary consultations. Any questions or comments on that? Okay, marketing is not evil, dirty, wrong, unethical, immoral, sleazy. Then I think some people think it is. Okay. Marketing system key points. I just want you to see how thoughtful this is. Just ABM, always be marketing. Okay, 8 hours a week. So whether you carve out specific days or half days, or you're doing it a little bit each day, we want you to remember to have that marketing, the marketing gas pedal depressed, if you will. Okay, otherwise you can't wonder why you don't have the size and scope of the business you're looking for. Keep it simple. And we're going to go over the marketing train next and show you how, quote, simple it can be. Doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean you don't get rejected. Doesn't mean people don't say no. Doesn't mean, oh, gee whiz, there's tough days, but it's simple. It can be simple. I love this. There's what works and there's what works for you. And then I'll just hit the last one and then I'm going to come back to camera. Give value and focus on serving, not sales. Okay. When you hear the comment, there's what works and there's what works for you. Anybody want to just take a stab at what that means and why I put that in terms of marketing? I think you'll like this. There's what works and there's what works for you. What does that mean? Let me ask you this.
Take a guess.
Oh,
sorry.
Thank you, Helen. You rock.
Just that there's so many probably different avenues to go down, and so many professionals have found success in different areas of marketing, that you could try them and it might not work for you. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It just doesn't work for you. And so to try a number of them and you find one that just works for you, that in terms of time, success, and roll with that.
100%. That's it. That is it. Any marketing strategy works. I mean, does social media work? Sure. Does networking work? Yes. Does speaking work? Yes. Do alliances work? Yes. Do joint ventures work? Yes. Does writing articles work? Yes. Does podcasts work? Yes. Okay. Some of them generally work, quote unquote, better than others or yield better results, but it depends on you. I don't like social media. So therefore, I'm most likely not going to be good at it, and or I'm most likely not going to do it. I'm not going to do what it takes. So therefore, marketing doesn't work for me. Okay. So we're going to talk about marketing strategies, specific strategies. Pick the ones that work for you. And this is what I love about, like, we teach a system, right? We're going to hit the train. You know, you're active, you're passive, you're keep in touch, your follow-up. But within that system, you're choosing your marketing strategies. You're doing your personal brand to it, your flair, your personality, right? So we can't duplicate you. However, the system works. Any questions or comments on that? Cool beans. Oh, thank you very much, Tina.
I think it all depends on your strengths, your values, your personality. And
Yeah, very
some things
good.
might work for most coaches, but all coaches' strengths and values are not the same. So for me, for example, if I am, I don't know, I could be somebody social and easy to start a conversation. If I use that, my strength, and it is also according to my values, then it will work for me, but it might not work for somebody else. So there are some things that work for most. So out of these, I choose the ones that are me.
You nailed it, Tina. As a quick example, just playing off of what Tina said. So Tina's outgoing, she's social, she enjoys conversations. Anybody more introverted, quiet, would rather not be, expose yourself, go to networking events? Anybody that way? Okay, not on this call. Let's say there was. I'm going to just pick Susanna. Let's say Susanna is an introvert, like she hears Tina talking about going out, meeting people, and she's going, are you kidding me? That's not what I like. If as her business coach, I was like, Susanna, networking works. Like, you got to do networking. You just have to do networking. She'd be like, see ya, or she'd be like firing me left and right. The worst thing you can be doing is saying, what's wrong with me? So-and-so said networking works, or strategic alliances are the way to go. No, listen to that, find out if that might work for you. But if you know immediately it's not something you like, then don't bother. There's plenty of others. Cool. Focus on value and serving, not sales. Okay, just some benefits of having a quote marketing system. We shouldn't have said here no wondering or guessing. One of the things I pride myself on and really work on is being real. Don't make empty promises. So that should actually say less wondering or guessing, right? A lot of people come to me and say, what should I be doing? I wake up in the morning, it's like I check email, I get on social media, I do a couple LinkedIn things, and I might have a client, but I'm always wondering, like, what quote should I be doing? What's the best thing? When you have a system and it's laid out in your time management program, like I talked about last time, you have less wondering or guessing. You're proactive. You get more predictable results. One of the cool things, if any of you ever want to email me or have a consult with me, I'll be offering a consultation in a little bit. But one of the things that I know is pretty much for every marketing strategy, what results you should strive for. right? Like, I know if you speak, if you network, if you do social media, I can share with you like how many clients you should be getting. Again, I know that's coaches, the word should, but you want to target. So because that way you can work with your coach to determine, hey, Mike said, on average, I should be, when I speak, 7% of the room would end up becoming a client. I'm not averaging that. I got to figure out what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. And when you're getting into the measurement and the adjusting, that's when your business really can go forward. More stable revenue, you can begin to automate and delegate, and it gets easier the more efficient as you learn. Any questions or comments on that before we dive into the actual train and the strategies? Oh, a little more exposure, more prospects, more clients, more revenue. See, these things lead to more of the things on the right side. Okay, before we dive into this train, so actually I'm gonna hit the elements of the train. So the reason we identified a train is because everybody knows a train, the little fable, the little engine that could, and it's simple, okay? The main part of a train is the engine. Would you agree? The train doesn't go anywhere without the engine. It drives the train. So the engine are your active marketing strategies. We'll talk about some examples of those in a little bit. The cars are your passive strategy. The cars of a train don't go anywhere without the engine pulling it. Unless, of course, it's a downhill track, but they don't have an engine. They don't go anywhere on their own. Similarly, your business cards or your website, they don't do anything. They're stagnant unless you make them more active, okay? The caboose are your keep in touch strategies. So how are you serving and keeping in touch with your prospects? And then what's cool that ties this all together is the track itself. It's previous. What do I do previous? Boom. It doesn't say feed follow up here, or does it? My Zoom icon is covering it up. That's funny. The track is your follow up. And we'll talk about follow-up in a little bit. Okay, questions or comments on that? Isn't that pretty cool? Just so what we're gonna do next is you're going to begin to outline your active, your passive, your keep in touch, and your follow-up strategies right here on this call. And hint, more is not better. You don't need a bunch of these. But before we do, any questions on the train? That's question number one. And question number two, would each of you take a moment right now and just write down what you identify as your active strategies right now? And do me a favor, I said write it down. I should have said put it in the chat. So what strategies do you think would apply to what would be called active that you're doing right now on a regular basis? And I just want to kind of get a feel for where you're at. Oh, I gotta move my icon for the chat here. In the 8 hours per week, depending on how many, okay. Yeah, so just the question about the 8 hours per week, thank you for asking that, and forgive me for not monitoring the chat better. Yeah, that's based on a 40-hour work week. Okay, so if you're only working part-time, then you could cut that in half. Realizing how I have not marketed. I'm glad for those of you that realize that. That's a good realization today. I like your approach. It's client focused. Good. I don't do anything right now. Okay. So thank you for admitting that, TM. Only planning, but theme workshops, free intro calls, group coaching series. Good. For me, active is my podcast and social media around coaching. Fabulous after 50. Good. Daily Facebook posts. Facebook. Okay, so just so you guys know, Facebook posts, that's more passive. Social media is more passive. Newsletter is keep in touch or passive. Networking is active if you're doing it the right way. Advertising is passive. So I just want to point articles. So generally speaking, you, like most coaches and solopreneurs, frankly, massage therapists, personal trainers, financial advisors, I coach folks in these different industries, you tend to lean towards the more passive ones, which is not surprising because they're less direct, you know, they're softer, they're more kind of stand back. Hey, let me do some posts, let me do some podcasts, let me interview other people, et cetera, et cetera. Let me write an article. They're not bad. And you want to mix in some more active ones. So workshops are more active. Are flyers passive or active? More passive, unless you're doing something very active with the flyers, right? Like if you say, I'm just making this up, I'm gonna go to one networking event per week within my target market. I'm going to have a goal of meeting 4 new people, and I'm going to project that 2 of the 4 might be interested in my services and therefore take a flyer. Do you see how that's more active and specific than saying, hey, I'm going to post flyers in the coffee shop on the bulletin board? Okay, so anything can be turned into, thank you, Tina, I'll come to you in just a second. Anything can be turned into more active, and the more active and specific you are, the better results you're going to get. Tina.
I think that my most active marketing strategy is this. I'll give you an example. While getting my nails done, okay?
Say it again, Tina, what was it?
While having my nails done,
okay,
I socialize with the person that does it for me, and for some reason they trust me quite easily. So lately what I've been doing is I actually coach them during this process. And I don't just, I give my all to this process, actually. I really try to help them maximum. And this is I realize this is the most active marketing strategy I actually do. And this has brought me a lot of clients.
Excellent.
And not the lady that did my nails because she couldn't pay, but every time some client comes to her and says, oh, I have this problem, she always gives my card and they call me.
Yeah, that's phenomenal, Tina. And I'm just going to validate that. I've heard a lot of coaches say they get their clients from their hairstylists. So I find that similar, right? Like it's a cool environment where if your target market is the folks that are getting their nails done, getting their hair done, you're tending to socialize and you trust your hairstylist, kind of like the quote local bartender that becomes your friend where you hang out. So Tina, if you're doing that and that's working for you, awesome. That is a proactive, active marketing strategy. And then what Tina could do, I'm not saying you need to do this or you have to do this, but get your nails done more if you want more clients, and or look at that strategy and saying, what about this is working? Why is this working? And can I duplicate this in another area, right? Like maybe the hair salon or going to networking events, etc. So very good. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Okay, so let's dive into some examples of active strategies. The things you do that enable you to reach out and connect with potential clients, okay? And some example, we kind of did this first. I asked you to kind of share what you thought your active strategies would be. So some specific active strategies that we know work very well when you do them well. This isn't all of them, but are speaking, strategic alliances and joint ventures, AIR marketing research, which I can define for you in a second, but that's basically AIR stands for advice, insights, and recommendations, targeted networking, referrals, and email marketing. So I'll just ask before we move on to passive, are there any questions on any of these active marketing strategies? Again, remembering that the purpose of your active marketing, like a resume, is to funnel people to a consultation, which is the interview. So you can't be bashful about doing that part of it. Any questions or comments on those strategies? And if anybody, if you're asking a question in the chat and I forget to look at it, don't hesitate to raise your hand. And direct emails to companies, good. Is adding a call to action to a Facebook post active? So what a great question that Paula asked. Adding a call to action to a Facebook post definitely makes it more active than not making a call to action. We're not offering anything. Post, free, value, but never saying, hey, are you liking these posts? This week, I'm dedicating 4 hours of my time to 4 consultations. The first 4 that sign up, get them, click this link here to schedule, right? And or offering, funneling people from, some of these things can be funneled to something to funnel. So, hey, you could post on your Facebook that on March 30th, you're doing a 45-minute presentation on, and do a free presentation and then use that to funnel people to the consultation. You could post on your social media, hey, I'm starting an e-zine on this topic. Here's what it's going to come out weekly. You're really going to love it. It's going to be short but effective. Sign up for my e-newsletter here, right? So you're making offers. Very good, Paula. Get your hair done. Get your hair done waxing. Get your hair done waxing. So
apologies,
waxing
Michael,
hair.
that was saying to Paula, if the strategy is working for nails, start getting her hair done, her waxing done, whatever else you can do done.
Yeah, like your waxing, your hair cut, your hair coloring, your nails, your pedicure, your massage, right? Like the different similar things, personal care.
We'll spend
Cool.
all the coaching money on these things.
Any questions on any of the active strategies?
Michael, can I ask?
Yes.
Referring to speaking, where would you find like avenues to do this?
Well, it certainly depends on your target market. Just a little FYI, kind of, I guess this is a little sales plug, but I'm not doing it to sell it. But I do teach a full program called Speak for Clients, which is how exactly from beginning to end, where to speak, how to deliver your talk, how to get consultations, et cetera, et cetera. But one of the great ways to get speaking gigs is the association market. So I guarantee you, let's see, I have trouble reading names. Helen, I guarantee whatever your target market is, and feel free to share if you want, if you just Google that target market and associations, there are groups that cater to that target market, like the ICF. The ICF is an association. Forgive me, you guys are IAPC&M. I think sometimes I put one extra letter in there. That's an association, right? Julie, I bet you guys bring in what? At least one speaker a month, if not a couple, right?
More indeed.
But
you can come and speak on
so
here, Helen. Do your masterclass.
There you.
Yeah,
Yep.
Dawn's already asked me to, so potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I don't know what the numbers are in the UK, but as you guys know, the world is getting smaller and smaller, and I assume most of you do virtual coaching, meaning you can coach somebody anywhere in the world. So in the United States alone, there are over 46,000 associations, okay? And that does not include the chapters individually. So like, let's just say the International Coach Federation has, I think, 80 chapters, but where you can speak speak at this chapter, speak at this chapter, speak at this chapter, but it only counts as one association. So if you Google associations in your target market wording, it's phenomenal what comes up. Does that help, Helen?
That's brilliant. Thank you ever so much. Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah,
And
I
there's
personally.
also,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry,
Go ahead.
there's some organizations that actually people can hire you as a speaker for their events. So if they were actively looking as well, they would go onto these kind of places and go, right, we need a speaker for X, Y, and Z, and a list will come up. So, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I just want to comment, you know, what I teach, by the way, just an FYI, I think speaking is quote, the number one market. I found it to be not just for me, but for dozens of clients. If you're open to speaking, it works great. Okay. But you can also get paid to speak. I personally teach speaking for free and using it to get business, but you can do both. It's just typically speaking for free is an easier get, right? The speaking for a fee, those are typically not at the chapter levels, they're at the regional or national levels, and they'll pay for the keynotes, etc. Some of the big associations will even pay their breakouts, but a lot of times they do not offer a fee. But you can speak and you could, you know, I've been in rooms where I've spoken to 150, 200 people and gotten $80,000 worth of business from one talk. It's awesome. Cool beans. All right, let's go to passive. So passive strategies are things that complement your active marketing, but do not on their own bring in new clients unless you make them more active. So some example of passive strategies are your website. Can you make your website search engine friendly, optimized, a call to action, a giveaway on there? Of course, and that makes it more active, but it's still more passive than speaking or workshops or networking. Lead magnets, social media, podcasts, your collateral materials, directory listings, and articles. These are all fine strategies, but not at the expense of doing some active ones. Any questions or comments on any of these? All right, then we got keep in touch. The things you do to stay connected with potential clients and build a relationship. And I would also say, and continue to serve them. So some examples of these are your email newsletter, or sometimes called your e-zine. It could be a video newsletter, could be a YouTube channel, personal contact, your blog, okay? But I strongly recommend having a way to serve your prospects. Something I want to just say about e-newsletter. Oftentimes coaches, when I'm coaching them, I'll say, you know, have you thought about an e-newsletter? And this is typically what I hear. No, I mean, I thought about it, but I don't want to do one. How come? Do you mind sharing why? Well, first of all, I don't know what I'd write about. And second of all, I get bombarded with e-zines all the time. I don't read them. I don't think they're effective. Once I share a little bit with them about how to find things to write about, that's pretty easy. And the fact that, well, you're probably getting bombarded with a bunch of emails, like we talked about at the beginning of the call, of marketers trying to sell you their business development coaching. Most of the people in your target market are most likely not getting bombarded with e-newsletters, okay? And if you keep them short, under 200 words, the shorter, the better, not the longer, people will, and they're good, people will read them. And you don't need all the people to read them. This is a top of mind awareness strategy. So even if, you know, like for example, we average a 35% open rate, 65 out of 100 people never open my emails, okay? But 35 out of 100 do. And even the ones that aren't opening them, they're top of mind awareness. TOMA, you guys have heard of that. So it's unbelievable how we've gotten a phone call all of a sudden. Hey, you know, you may not know me. I've been on your e-zine list for a while. I'll be honest with you, I don't even read most of them. However, I love getting them, and I think I need you. And boom, the next thing you know, they're having a consultation. So I challenge you to, if you have any concerns about an e-newsletter, to get over that and or develop another way. Questions or comments on Keep in Touch? Okay, watch what I'm going to do now. So each Thursday, we produce a e-zine. We call it our weekly digest. Okay, it's always 200 words or less. So meaning it's like this long. When you open it, you can pretty much see the whole article. Okay, I like to say it's pithy, and it's always on a business development topic. It might be 3 keys to set your prices, or it might be why speaking is the #1 strategy, or how to handle the money objection. And then once a month, we also offer a free workshop, a Zoom workshop. So for those of you that would like to register for my e-zine, our e-zine, forgive me, Amy's not here, but it's BizLife 360, just pop your email in the chat and we'll subscribe you to our newsletter. Of course, you can unsubscribe at any time. And we also, when you register, we have some cool bonuses for you as well that are free. We've got a cool business assessment on there. So some things that can serve you moving forward. Any question or comments about newsletters in general, or passive, or about my newsletter? Yep.
Helen, you were asking about how to increase subscribers, I think, right? In this chat. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got branding. Sorry.
Oh, forgive me. Go ahead. Go ahead, Helen.
I got branding done last year, the end of last year, about late October, and a whole new website. And to accompany that, I started providing newsletter for people that subscribe to the newsletter on the website. Now it's going shockingly.
Oh,
to
great.
show, you know. So
good for you, Helen.
Any tips on, I want to obviously increase subscribers, because then you've got a great database that you can send information out to, but I'm really struggling with how I get subscribers.
Okay, so of course there's that could be a whole class in and of itself, but I'll give you some quickies, right? First of all, any other marketing strategy you do, always be offering your e-newsletter. So let's say you're going to networking events, and by the way, you should be networking within your target market, right? So they're your prospects. Some may want a consultation, some may not be a fit, some you may not offer. But if anybody says anything like, "Oh wow, I'm so glad I met you. I need this kind of stuff." Hey, might you want a complimentary consultation and or to register for my e-newsletter so we can stay in touch? So that's a way. When you speak, like look at right here, we got some people signing up for the newsletter here. On your website, not only should you have a call to action, but you should have a cool free, they call it a lead magnet. So something of value on there that gets people to click. Like click here for my 5-page ebook on, or and then in order to, when they sign up for your e-magnet, you let them know, as part of this, I'm not only giving you this, but you're also we're also putting you on our e-zine list, and feel free to unsubscribe, but just be ethical about it. But those are some quickie ways. Way back in the day, me and my previous business partner, this was before the coaching market was saturated. I've been serving coaches, by the way, since the year 2000. We did what we called the Coach and Grow Rich 90-day challenge. Nobody was doing challenges. This was literally back in 2001. We got 3,500 subscribers because we created this 54-page ebook on how to grow your coaching business step by step. And we laid it out like, 54 pages. And in order to get that 54-page ebook, you have to give us your email and subscribe to the newsletter. And it worked fabulously. So that's another example. Does that help, Helen?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm just aware that I got to wrap up pretty soon. I'm going to finish on the hour, and then I'm happy to stay beyond that for those of you that might want to. And then follow up. This is just a cool stat. Don't derail your train by failing to follow up, okay? With email, with phone calls, with direct messaging, videos, gifts. So follow up, like as an example, follow up would be, let's say I reached out to Lisa. I think Lisa's the program chair of your group. That's who I worked with to have me come. I reach out to associations to offer to speak. So let's say I reached out, I think Lisa contacted me or Dawn or somebody, but let's say I reached out to your group and I didn't hear back in 2 weeks. I would say, hi, Lisa, just following up, want to make sure you got this offer to speak. If in a week or 10 days later, I still hadn't heard, I might go to Facebook or LinkedIn and send her a direct message. Hey, Lisa, did you get my email offering to speak to your group? That's an example of follow-up. Or somebody says they want a consultation, they don't book it, you follow up. Hey, you said you wanted a complimentary consultation. I just want, one of the phrases I love is, I don't want to be a pest, but I want to be a good steward. Is this something you still want to do? So you're following up with people with courtesy, with dignity, and because you care, but you're not being a wimp about it. Follow-up is key because 37% of your business will come from follow-up. So let's just say your goal is to make 100K. If you don't follow up and everything else is the same, you'll only do 63K. When you add the follow-up to it, you'll hit your number. That's massive. Any questions or comments on that? All right, now we're going to slow it down, I think, and we're going to do, here's just an example of the train working together. Deliver a talk, active marketing, share your slides. Hey, if you'd like a copy of my slides, go ahead and sign up for my newsletter. You don't have to do the two of those together. And then you're on their newsletter. And every once in a while, you invite people to a conversation or a coaching session, okay? Those of you that want a complimentary consultation with me, I'm putting my schedule in the chat. I just want you to know this is not a quote free coaching session. You know, come and spend an hour picking my brain. I don't mind doing that, but if you want that, email me, okay? This is a consultation to see if we might be a fit to work together. One of the things Amy and I just created is phenomenal service levels for a one-off session, an e-course, a long 6-month group, a year-long one-on-one coaching contract, anything that you need or want, we're willing to conform to help you, okay? So, you know, if working with me is not something you're interested in, you wouldn't sign up for a consultation. However, feel free to email me with any questions you have. I'm absolutely more than willing to serve you for free. And if you do want a consultation, just know it's not a hard sales call. We just have basically it's a mutual interview. We're getting to know each other to see if we might be a fit, because I only offer our services if we're absolutely know we can help you. And when we do, we guarantee it, okay? Everybody just take a moment and just close your eyes. Just take 2 deep breaths. I want you to just imagine 1 year from now, when you've done what we talked about today. So when you're proactively marketing your business for 8 hours a week on average, you've identified and you're executing your marketing train. You're not bashful about reaching out to me, either free or through a consultation to get help with any of this stuff. Don't be bashful. Where are you going to be a year from now when you've spent the whole year dedicated to this facet of proactively, properly marketing your coaching business? And if you would, just share a word or a little phrase. Just hear from 3 of you. Where will you be? What will it feel like in a year? Anybody want to share?
I wrote fulfilled.
Fulfilled. That's a great word. Anybody else? I think that there are hundreds and even thousands of people around the world that need you. This is really what I believe. Like, so there are people who need, let's take, we'll do Julie, that need Julie. They don't know they need Julie. They're not saying I need Julie, but whatever it is that Julie coaches on, hundreds, if not thousands of people are looking for that. They need that. They're suffering because they're struggling in that area. And if Julie doesn't do her part, i.e. that which we talked about today, serving with dignity and offering consultations and offering to serve, these poor people aren't going to get what they need. And that's a shame. So not only are you not going to get what you need if you don't do your part, the whole reason for being a coach and serving people isn't going to happen. But when you do, it will happen, because God gave us this desire to be coaches, to serve people. And God, higher power, the universe, whatever you call it, I call it God, he or she wouldn't plant within you the desire to be a coach and not give you the corresponding ability to manifest it. That would be like a cruel joke. So you have within you to do this. You just got to do your part. God bless.
Michael, thank you very, very much. I believe I'm not speaking just for myself when I say you have given us an awful lot. I mean, I know there's been a total switch for me in my head anyway. I did believe marketing was a dirty word, and indeed I called social media digital prostitution. However, you do have a very good point here. And it's not serving anyone, you know, if we have this desire to help and the knowledge and the ability to do so, then, I mean, it's up to us to let people know where's the point if nobody can reach us. So you have made it very approachable. I thought it was very well prepared, and I loved the interactiveness. Thank you very much to the rest of you for having also participated here and shared your thoughts and what you're up to. So Michael, I'm already looking forward to the next one. Do all join us for the next one. Don't forget to write in your CPD pad as well, because we all tend to forget about it. But I also think I love the way you left us with that vision. And I, for one, feel very excited about engaging more actively on this marketing journey in order to be at that vision. Right. So thank you all the way from Connecticut. For the rest of you who didn't know, Michael was all the way from Connecticut. And I wish you all a lovely, lovely evening, and to put all of this into action so we can see you all. And let's all add each other on our newsletters like that. We're already, Helen, creating a little bit of momentum here, right?
Yeah.
Take care until the next one.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Bye.